Have you ever wondered how to stay calm when life feels overwhelming? In today's fast-paced world, stress, anxiety, and emotional turmoil have become a normal part of life. Many of us find ourselves caught in a whirlwind of negative emotions, unsure of how to manage our inner struggles. It seems that every day brings new challenges and obstacles that test our patience and resilience. But did you know that more than 2,000 years ago, philosophers discovered a powerful way to help people find peace, calm, and strength, regardless of the circumstances? The philosophy of Stoicism, which originated in ancient Greece and Rome, offers timeless wisdom for dealing with life's inevitable difficulties. Stoicism teaches us that true power doesn't come from trying to control external events, but from mastering our own minds and emotions. By learning to view obstacles as opportunities, letting go of imaginary pains, and embracing the impermanence of life, we can achieve an inner peace that allows us to face anything. The Stoic approach doesn't mean ignoring or suppressing our feelings. Instead, it offers practical tools to help us deal with our emotions in a way that leads to resilience and strength. Are you ready to take on the challenge and unlock the true power within you? Join me on a journey through these profound Stoic principles, and together we will explore how to live in a way that makes you feel as though nothing can trouble you anymore. This ancient philosophy is a key to unlocking a happier, more meaningful, and fulfilling life. Get ready to change and become the strongest version of yourself. Here's how we begin. View obstacles as opportunities. Imagine that your life is a journey filled with twists, turns, and roadblocks. Every obstacle you encounter seems like an annoying delay or an unfair burden, right? But what if I told you that each of these obstacles is actually an opportunity for growth and self-improvement? One of the core tenets of Stoicism is to reframe how we see the challenges in our lives. Rather than seeing them as things that hold us back, Stoicism teaches us to view obstacles as opportunities to learn, grow, and strengthen ourselves. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most famous Stoic philosophers and Roman emperors, put it beautifully when he said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." What he meant is that the challenges we face are not obstacles to our progress, but the path itself. When you encounter difficulty, that difficulty is precisely what will make you stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Let's take a look at the life of Jesus as an example. He faced unimaginable challenges, including betrayal, extreme suffering, and death. Yet he transformed those hardships into lessons of love, patience, and forgiveness. His darkest moments became the foundation for his greatest teachings, showing the power of endurance, compassion, and hope. Jesus' ability to transform his suffering into a message of redemption mirrors the Stoic view that adversity can be a source of personal growth. Now think about your own life. When was the last time you faced a significant challenge? How did you respond? Were you overwhelmed, or did you find a way to turn that challenge into an opportunity to improve yourself? The Stoic mindset teaches us to stop seeing ourselves as victims of circumstance and start seeing ourselves as architects of our own fate. When you begin to approach obstacles with this mindset, they lose their power over you. Instead of feeling frustrated by roadblocks, you'll see them as invitations to become stronger, wiser, and more capable. Don't suffer from imaginary troubles. Have you ever stopped to consider whether the things you worry about actually exist, or if they're simply creations of your imagination? One of the most important lessons from Stoic philosophy is learning to distinguish between real problems and imaginary ones. Many of the worries and anxieties that plague us are not based on reality, but on our fears about what might happen in the future. Think about it. How many times have you stressed over something that never even happened? Maybe it was a job interview, an important meeting, or a conversation with a friend. In your mind, you built up all kinds of worst-case scenarios, only to find out later that the reality was much less dramatic than you had imagined. Stoicism teaches us that much of our suffering comes not from actual events, but from our fears and anticipations of things that may never come to pass. Jesus also taught about the dangers of worrying too much about the future. In the Bible, he says, "Do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own." This advice encourages us to focus on the present moment and stop burdening ourselves with worries about things that haven't even happened yet. Worrying about the future doesn't help us. It only robs us of the joy and peace we could be experiencing right now. Imagine a farmer who spends every day worrying about whether his crops will fail. He worries about drought, pests, bad weather, and every other disaster that could possibly strike. But does all that worry help his crops grow any better? Of course not. In fact, it only makes the farmer more stressed and less able to enjoy the good things happening in his life. We are like that farmer when we worry about imaginary problems. Our fears don't help us. They only sap our energy and joy. Next time you find yourself feeling anxious or stressed, ask yourself, is this something that's actually happening right now, or is it just my imagination running wild? By asking this simple question, you can gain a clearer perspective on what's really happening and let go of unnecessary worries. Embrace impermanence. One of the hardest truths in life is that nothing lasts forever. Everything is temporary, and change is the only constant. This can be a difficult truth to accept, but Stoicism teaches us that by embracing impermanence, we can find peace and freedom. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic philosopher-emperor, said, "Everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth." This idea helps us understand that life is constantly changing, and our perceptions of the world are always shifting. Life is like a river that is always flowing. We cannot stop the flow of time or the changes that come with it. Instead of clinging to things that are bound to change, whether it's relationships, possessions, or even our own emotions, Stoicism teaches us to embrace change as a natural part of life. When we accept the fact that nothing lasts forever, we free ourselves from the fear of loss and the frustration of trying to hold on to things that are slipping away. Jesus also spoke about the importance of accepting change and seeking strength from something beyond the material world. He said, "Man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds from the mouth of God." This teaching reminds us that while the things of this world are temporary, the wisdom and guidance we find in spiritual teachings can provide us with lasting peace and strength. Think about moments in your life when everything seemed to change overnight. Maybe it was the loss of a loved one, the end of a relationship, or a big shift in your career. How did you cope with that change? Did it make you stronger, or did it leave you feeling lost and overwhelmed? When we embrace impermanence, we stop trying to control the uncontrollable and start living with greater acceptance and peace. Impermanence also gives us the opportunity to appreciate the present moment. When we understand that nothing lasts forever, we begin to value the time we have with our loved ones, our experiences, and even our own lives. Each moment becomes more precious because we know it won't last forever. Instead of fearing change, we can learn to see it as a gift that allows us to grow and experience life more fully. Master the art of letting go. Our lives are often filled with situations beyond our control, whether it's the loss of a job, the end of a relationship, or the passing of time. But what truly matters is how we react to these events. Stoicism teaches us that one of the most important skills we can develop is the ability to let go of things that are beyond our control. Letting go doesn't mean giving up or becoming indifferent. It means accepting the limits of our influence and not allowing things we can't change to steal our peace and happiness. Jesus also taught about the power of letting go and trusting in a higher power. He said, "Cast your burdens on the Lord, and He will sustain you." This message encourages us to place our trust in something greater than ourselves and to release the unnecessary worries and burdens that weigh us down. When we cling to things we can't change, we create suffering for ourselves. But when we learn to let go, we open ourselves up to new possibilities and a deeper sense of freedom. Think about a time in your life when you were holding on to something that was causing you pain. Maybe it was a relationship that had ended, a job you lost, or a mistake you made in the past. Did holding on to that thing bring you any peace or happiness? Probably not. In fact, it likely caused you even more suffering. Stoicism teaches us that by letting go of things that are beyond our control, we can find inner peace and focus on what truly matters. Letting go doesn't mean you stop caring or that you become detached from the people and things you love. Instead, it means recognizing that there are limits to what we can control and not letting those limits define our happiness. When we let go of our need for control, we open ourselves up to a life of greater freedom and peace. Practice daily reflection. Have you ever taken time at the end of the day to reflect on what happened, how you felt, and what you can learn from it? Daily reflection is one of the most powerful tools in Stoic philosophy. By taking a few moments each day to think about our actions, thoughts, and emotions, we can gain insight into ourselves and make improvements over time. Daily reflection isn't about beating yourself up for mistakes or dwelling on regrets. Instead, it's an opportunity to learn from your experiences and grow as a person. Marcus Aurelius, who practiced daily reflection throughout his life, wrote down his thoughts, struggles, and insights in a journal, which later became the famous book, Meditations. His reflections helped him navigate the challenges of being a Roman emperor and guided him in living a life of wisdom and virtue. Jesus also encouraged his followers to reflect and seek guidance through prayer. He said, "Seek and you will find, knock and the door will be opened to you." Reflection is a form of seeking. It's a way of asking ourselves what we can do better and how we can grow. Imagine spending a few minutes each night writing in a journal. You might note what went well, what challenges you faced, and what you could do differently tomorrow. By practicing daily reflection, you create a habit of self-awareness and continuous improvement. Over time, you'll find that this practice helps you become more patient, more compassionate, and more resilient. So, what will you reflect on tonight? What did you learn from today's experiences? What could you do better tomorrow? By making reflection a daily habit, you'll gain greater clarity and control over your thoughts and actions, and you'll become a stronger, wiser person. Cultivate inner peace. Inner peace is not something that happens by chance. It's something we cultivate through practice, reflection, and conscious effort. Imagine someone facing major challenges in life: work pressure, family issues, financial worries. How do they stay calm and centered amid all the chaos? The key to inner peace is recognizing that while we cannot control everything that happens around us, we can control how we respond to it. Jesus said, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." This teaching reminds us that we don't have to carry the weight of the world on our shoulders. We can find peace by trusting in a higher power and by accepting that there are things we cannot control. Stoicism teaches us a similar lesson. When we learn to view life's challenges with a calm, clear mind, we stop letting external events dictate our emotions. Imagine a serene, clear lake in the middle of a forest. Even when storms come and the surface is disturbed, the water beneath remains calm and still. You can cultivate your inner peace to be like that lake, calm, even when life's storms are raging around you. So how can you begin to cultivate inner peace? One effective way is to set aside time each day for meditation, prayer, or reflection. By connecting with yourself and with something greater than yourself, you can find a sense of calm that will carry you through even the toughest challenges. Start your day with a few minutes of meditation, focusing on your breath and letting go of worries. At the end of the day, take time to reflect and seek peace through prayer or quiet contemplation. When you make peace a priority, you'll find that life becomes more manageable and that your reactions to stress and difficulty become calmer and more measured. You'll no longer feel like a victim of circumstances, but like someone who can navigate life's challenges with grace and composure. Develop resilience through adversity. Why do we face difficulties in life? Are they just random obstacles, or are they opportunities for us to grow stronger? According to Stoicism, every challenge we face is a chance to build resilience. Resilience isn't something we're born with. It's something we develop through hardship and adversity. Each time we face a difficult situation, we have the choice to either let it defeat us or to use it as a stepping stone to become stronger and more capable. One powerful example of resilience through adversity is the story of Viktor Frankl, a Jewish psychologist who survived the horrors of the Holocaust. In his famous book, Man's Search for Meaning, Frankl wrote about how even in the face of unimaginable suffering, he found meaning and purpose. He discovered that by finding meaning in suffering, we can endure almost anything. His experience echoes the Stoic belief that hardship can be transformed into a source of strength. Jesus also taught about resilience in the face of trials. In the Bible, he says, "In this world you will have trouble, but take heart, I have overcome the world." This teaching encourages us not to fear difficulties, but to see them as opportunities to grow stronger and to trust in the greater purpose behind our struggles. Think about a time in your life when you faced a significant hardship, maybe the loss of a loved one, the failure of a relationship, or a serious illness. How did you handle that situation? Did it make you stronger in the end, or did you let it defeat you? Stoicism teaches us that every adversity we face is an opportunity to build resilience. By facing challenges head-on and learning from them, we develop the strength to handle whatever life throws at us. Developing resilience doesn't mean pretending that everything is okay or ignoring the pain of difficult experiences. It means acknowledging the reality of the situation, accepting the emotions that come with it, and using those emotions as fuel for growth. When we develop resilience, we not only survive adversity, but we thrive in spite of it. Don't create your own upsets. How many times have you let small things ruin your day? Maybe someone made a thoughtless comment, or you got stuck in traffic, or the weather didn't cooperate with your plans. In those moments, it's easy to feel frustrated, angry, or upset. But are these things really worth losing your peace over? Stoicism teaches us that much of our suffering comes from the way we interpret and react to situations, rather than from the situations themselves. Jesus also spoke about the importance of not letting minor worries dominate our lives. He said, "Therefore I tell you, do not worry about your life, what you will eat or drink, or about your body, what you will wear. Is not life more than food, and the body more than clothes?" This teaching reminds us to focus on what truly matters in life and not to let trivial concerns steal our peace. Next time you find yourself upset by something minor, ask yourself, is this really worth my peace of mind? Will getting upset help me solve the problem, or is it just making things worse? By choosing to let go of unnecessary upsets, you free yourself from the emotional roller coaster that so often comes with daily life. For example, imagine you're on your way to an important meeting and suddenly you hit a traffic jam. Your first instinct might be to feel anxious, frustrated, or even angry at yourself for not leaving earlier. But will those feelings help you get to your destination any faster? Probably not. In fact, they'll only make the situation more stressful. Instead, you can choose to accept the situation, take a deep breath, and use the extra time to listen to a podcast, reflect on your day, or simply relax. When we realize that many of our upsets are self-created, we gain the power to change how we react to situations. Instead of letting small things ruin our mood, we can learn to stay calm, focus on what really matters, and let go of the rest. Life becomes much lighter and more enjoyable when we stop creating our own problems. Focus on the how, not the what. Have you ever wondered why you sometimes feel lost, even when you know exactly what you want to achieve? Stoic philosophy teaches us that what matters most is not what we want to achieve, but how we approach and execute it. This principle of focusing on the how rather than the what emphasizes that our actions and attitudes are the keys to success and inner peace. For example, let's say you have a goal to get a promotion at work. It's easy to become so fixated on the goal itself that you forget about the process of getting there. You might start stressing about whether you'll achieve the promotion or worrying about what will happen if you don't. But Stoicism teaches us that the outcome is not as important as how we approach the situation. Instead of focusing on whether or not you'll get the promotion, focus on how you're going to show up every day, doing your best work, maintaining a positive attitude, and treating others with respect. When we focus on the how, we take control of the things we can actually influence: our actions, our mindset, and our behavior. This shift in focus allows us to stop worrying about things we can't control and start finding peace in the present moment. By concentrating on what you can do right now, you'll find that success becomes a byproduct of your efforts, rather than something you constantly have to chase. Next time you feel overwhelmed by a goal or challenge, take a step back and ask yourself, how am I approaching this? Am I focusing on what I can control, or am I getting lost in worry about the outcome? By shifting your focus to the how, you'll feel more in control and less stressed about what the future holds. Prioritize rationality over emotion. Have you ever made a decision in the heat of the moment and later regretted it? Maybe you said something hurtful during an argument, or made a rash decision out of anger or frustration. Stoicism teaches us to prioritize reason over emotion in our decision-making because reason brings clarity and calmness, while emotions often lead to impulsive actions and regrets. Jesus also taught about the importance of building our lives on a strong foundation. In the Bible, he says, "The wise man builds his house on the rock. The rain came down, the streams rose, and the winds blew and beat against that house. Yet it did not fall, because it had its foundation on the rock." This teaching encourages us to build our lives on the foundation of wisdom and reason, rather than on fleeting emotions. Think about a time when you were angry or upset and said or did something you later wished you hadn't. If you had taken a moment to pause and think before reacting, the outcome might have been very different. Stoicism encourages us to practice this kind of self-restraint, to take a step back and let reason guide our actions. The next time you find yourself in a difficult situation, pause and ask yourself, am I reacting out of emotion, or am I making a decision based on reason? By taking a moment to think before you act, you'll find that your decisions become wiser, calmer, and more effective. This practice of prioritizing rationality over emotion can transform the way you navigate life's challenges, leading to greater peace and fulfillment. Conclusion. The wisdom of Stoic philosophy and the teachings of Jesus offer us powerful tools for living a meaningful, peaceful, and fulfilling life. By embracing challenges as opportunities for growth, letting go of unnecessary worries, practicing daily reflection, cultivating inner peace, and prioritizing reason over emotion, we can navigate life's ups and downs with grace, strength, and wisdom. Are you ready to apply these timeless lessons to your own life? How will you start incorporating these principles into your daily routine? Share your thoughts and experiences, and let's continue this journey together. By supporting and learning from one another, we can grow in wisdom, peace, and inner strength. If you like this video, don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more Stoic teachings. You can also watch one of our other videos on the channel. Until next time, stay strong, stay Stoic.